Welcome to the River City Unlimited podcast by powerlifting coaches with infinite solutions for your problems. A good coach is ubiquitous now in powerlifting and strength training, but that hasn't always been the case. In 2017, River City founder trained in a well-known powerlifting gym in North Brisbane, Australia. Dealing with outdated coaching services with a need for more community or support, he sought out a new coach with a better system and support. He soon realized that there were fewer coaches in powerlifting to meet the demands of beginner to high-level competitive powerlifters. After spending months studying, designing, trialing and testing systems, River City Barbell and its first coaching system were born. Created from a single powerlifter experience with an intention to improve the athlete experience. The unique system meant athletes could reach maximum strength injury-free. 6 years on, and River City Barbell System is still relied on by elite and amateur athletes. Please welcome your hosts, Matt Burton and Deyana Stubner.
What's up?
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the podcast, episode number 6. We're back again, kicking live. Hope you guys have enjoyed the recent episodes. Trying to structure things around things that people that listen in might need or want to hear. Didn't get to put a questionnaire out this week about this episode. We've had a bit of a, could say, phenomenal, epic weekend.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what did you do? Oh, yeah.
Just a bit busy, but like not necessarily busy. But someone decided to kick a tree yesterday and break their toe.
Oh. A weight tree,
So,
mind you.
yeah.
Yes, well. Yeah, that happened with no shoes on. And then my little toe just like, I looked down, it was like folded over the other toe. I didn't even know it had that much range. And I don't know, I just reacted so quickly, like there was a bug on my foot. I just like, oh, just like popped it back over.
Did you feel it click back in at all or anything?
No, honestly, it didn't even hurt that much when it happened. I reckon it's like instantly dead.
Your feet and that bruise really easily, but so you should see her foot. It's fucked.
No.
The whole top of your foot's like purple, and then her whole toe is like purple. Maybe she'll let me take a photo of her foot and put it in a reel.
Yuck.
But in saying that,
lose viewers then.
yeah, or gain viewers.
Oh, I don't know.
Today's society.
Yuck.
So in saying that, she did it yesterday. We were building a shed in the backyard. And before we built the shed, she was out there sussing things out and kicked the spare equipment we got out there, weight tree, broke a toe, come back in, and then pushed through. Didn't you? You did it before we were doing it.
I was hanging the washing, actually.
Yeah, hanging the washing.
We weren't
out.
even doing the shed.
Before we were doing the shed.
Yeah, I was just hanging out the washing, and I was just moving stuff around in the back while I was out there, and then I just kicked that.
But then you pushed through, and we built a shed in the backyard. And then today, we went to the gym.
I also kicked the vacuum while it was black. But yeah, anyway. So
what are we going to do with you?
We're all right. Then we built a shed, which was eventful.
But then Dee went to the gym today and squatted her PR in wraps with a broken toe. So if you want to hear about reasons why not to go to the gym, she's probably not the person to ask.
Nope. I have no sympathy for any of the excuses people have for not going to the gym.
Bring your mic closer to your mouth. Yeah, which is pretty crazy to think like someone that broke their toe yesterday, she's limping around the gym. Like let's image this, right?
Oh god.
She's squatting her PR, but she's limping everywhere. Like literally can't walk, and she's still squatting her PRs. So,
because you don't have to walk when you're doing a squat, just up downs.
yeah, it's up downs.
Down ups?
Down ups?
Yep.
Down ups. You put it
Yeah.
the wrong way. Up downs. Yeah, so that's a bit of inspiration for Friday, because obviously this will come out on Friday. if you break something and you don't go to the gym, you're a pussy. No, this is
No, not at that extreme. I'm lucky it was, I guess, the side, and squat allows me to be able to push through the heels a little bit more and sort of plant the big toe a little bit rather than too much. Like, I got away with not having to put too much pressure through that.
Yeah, for sure.
So definitely didn't even try deadlifts being sumo.
Yeah, I think
I
sumo.
placed my foot in that position just to, like, see. I was like, nope. Because obviously sumo really forces outwards on the feet. So I was just like, that did not happen. No, that was not happening.
Yeah, hopefully by the end of the week it eases up a little bit so you can kind of deadlift.
Yes, hopefully. But then I'm smash, squat, press, and leg extension. So combination of those two and squats, smash my quads, and then my broken toe. Walking down the stairs at the gym was probably a good sight for everyone.
Yeah, I saw that, and some guy at the bottom was like, "Do you need help?" Or
He was
something?
like, "Did you hurt yourself?" I was like, "Just kick the weight tree." It's like, all right. And my quads are cooking.
And it wasn't even at the gym.
No. Oh, kick the one there too, though, tonight. Lucky I had shoes on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Oh, my God, seriously.
yeah. It's nothing worse when you're in pain and then you bump it again, and you're like, "Holy fuck, that hurt even more."
I just keep doing that, to be honest.
Yeah, of course you're going to. So at least it's not me complaining just this week.
I haven't complained, actually, but...
She's actually been pretty good about it.
You didn't even know I did it for, like, hours later until I was like, oh, I hurt my foot. And then I showed you, and like, holy shit.
Yeah, well, by that point it was like swollen as fuck.
Yeah, you hadn't heard peep before that.
It was at the back building the shed, but you were walking on it for ages.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, it didn't really swell until like the afternoon.
Yeah.
When we were actually halfway through the shed, you started limping.
Yeah. And then it was like black
Yeah.
and swollen.
So last week was me, and this week's Dee's turn.
Ugh.
But yeah, I'm still in that stage of still complaining. Fuck, man, like this shingle shit just don't stop. Like so there's stages in this shit now. Like, so I'm gonna write a book about shingles, and it's gonna be like levels. I'm in the itchy, fucking like something in my skin stage now, where it feels like something's crawling under my skin, and then when I scratch it, it's like hurts. So I can't get the itch because it's hurting when I scratch it. But there's no like blisters, nothing anymore. It's just like scar where the rash was. It like scarred my skin a little bit.
Maybe we should take an antihistamine.
Yeah, maybe. That's a smart idea. I'm going to try that.
Light bulb.
There we go, light bulb. This is why she's my girlfriend. But yeah, so like it's been itchy as hell. So like I wear a t-shirt and it's just like fucking it like annoys the shit out of me. So yeah, we'll see. I'll report back on that next week, see if it works. But then anyway, besides that, training's going well for me. I'm back in the gym, smashing weights. I hit a full week last week, first time in a couple of weeks. I'm pumped about that. Like,
Yeah, same.
yeah.
Because I trained with the team and did deadlifts on the weekend. So finally got all my sessions in too. And yeah, felt good about that. So
That was pretty. On the weekend we had a team like strength class for everyone that's prepping into Xmas Cup, B&B Bash, and then like just any local competition that's coming up. And all the members on the team in the local area come around, and we all did a group session together in my home studio, and that went really well. Everyone did their squats. I got to give some technical feedback on all of that, and then we chucked a few of them on the leg extension, leg curl, and taught them what RPE was. Just taught them how to find their RPE, what a 10 is, because obviously reflecting back off last week's episode, telling them what a 10 is and what a 6 is. So like, for example, Haley told us that she could only do a certain amount of reps on a leg extension, and she doubled it. She hit 100 instead of 50. So it's like, it wasn't at like
101.
Yeah, 101. She'll listen to this and then she'll be like, it was 101, baby.
No, I just thought of it. I was like, nope. That was the best.
And then we got Sean on there as well, same thing. Like, just taught them how far you can actually push yourself without you realizing that you can do it.
And Mitch as well.
Yeah, and Mitch as well. And It was a really good session. I think they took a lot of it. Haley and Mitch were really, really enjoyed it, and so did Sean. We threw Sean in wraps for the first time, and he squatted 100 kilo PR.
Yeah, he did really well.
Yeah, he actually squatted really well in wraps.
He likes them more than sleeves straight up, he says.
Yeah, so like he actually squatted and used the wrap really well, like sinking into it. Because to give you a bit of background about Sean, Sean's one of my clients that has cerebral palsy in the left side of his body, if no one knows about it. So he really struggles to gain maximum strength, like, fast, obviously, because if anyone knows what cerebral palsy is, it's when you have muscle wastage in whatever side of the body with it. To give you a bit of history about him, he had a fluid on his brain at a younger age, almost died, and then because of that fluid on the brain, it caused cerebral palsy in the left side of his body. The dude's come a long way in 2 years of being with me. He's my oldest client now. I think it's longer than 2 years now, probably longer than that. One of the older team members, and he's come such a huge way. Like, he just, from his mentality to being more like open and out there now about him, like talking to all of us crew and just really enjoying training. But he's not, like, people would look at his lifts and they would be like, oh, that's not that strong. But to Sean, it's huge. Like, they're huge things he's overcome in his life to get to that position. And chucking a set of wraps on him on the weekend was like something that, like, oh, I was a little bit worried about it because of the fact that, you know, he doesn't squat a huge amount, but I also thought maybe it might be hard for him to learn how to get that skill in wraps, and he actually accomplished it so fucking good, and I was super proud of him for it. So yeah, well done to Sean for that. But those team things we're gonna be doing them once a month now, so I'm really looking forward to them because I think a lot of the team can take a lot out of that.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, so it'll be, see how fun it is in summer in the garage.
Ooh, yeah. No, we've got a trick, remember? We put the fan in the doorway of the house with the aircon on, and it sucks it through the back and it pumps it into the gym. Remember how that was my life hack last summer?
Yeah, we got the ducted aircon and then we just put the fan in and it blows the cold air in there.
Yeah.
So it's like
I got something for everything.
It's aircon but not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, cool. But today's topic we're going to talk about stress. So one of the main things I want to talk about today is like define what stress is, different types of stress, how the body handles that, and then go into like stuff about your mental health and how that can impact your strength and impact like your recovery and all that type of stuff. So hit it off first. I'll break down stress. So I'll talk about internal stress, and you can talk about external stress. You know what external stress is? Obviously, internal stress is your stimulus from training. So anything you do in the gym, anything you do movement-wise, whether you're walking, you're lifting weights, you know, your NEAT, all that type of stuff, that's internal stress, the stress that your body creates from doing exercise. So external stress?
Fatigue is also internal?
Yeah, internal. Yeah, so external stress.
Is this in the sense of just in the gym?
No, external stress, so like...
That's your life.
Yeah, life, like things in life. Like.
So external stress can be anything from your job to something happening in your family, just anything that's basically affecting your mentality and making you feel stressed.
Yeah, so like...
Anything else external
work,
to gym,
yeah,
basically.
anything external gym, so work, life, relationships, like financial stress, all that type of stuff.
Yep.
But the thing is about stress that people don't know is that your body doesn't know what's internal or external stress. So your body just knows stress. So if you get stress from work, external stress, and then you get stress from training with your overload, it all just comes into your body as stress, and your brain just sees everything as stress, which creates fatigue. And to adapt to training, we need stress. That's what training is. We stress our body, we adapt, we get stronger. But the problem is if you overload your body with too much stress from external stress, which sometimes you can't help, but that's when we can manage training. So we can manage training based around your life and the things that you go through. If you're having a bad time in the gym training and we find out you're like stressing over life or something's happening at work or you're working more, we can adjust training to suit that so that we don't overload you too much with internal stress. And you've got all this external stress, and then next minute you get like super fatigued and you just can't be fucked to do anything. You know, so sorry, I just nearly choked on myself. But yeah, so like the thing is with internal stress is it's manageable, but external stress sometimes we can't manage that. You know, you can find ways to bring down external stress, but that just comes down to who you are as a person too and how you manage external stress. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's why I would say, you know, as powerlifters, yes, powerlifting is sort of our focus in gym and whatnot, but we're human first, and that's where the external stress plays the biggest factor. Yeah. So we need to, as people's coaches as well, we need to know about people's external stresses so we can apply that to the review of their program and adjust things accordingly. So it's super important to be told all these things. You know, some people don't want to be as open sometimes, or maybe have to warm to it naturally, of course, but it is super important to share those external stresses, not in full detail, just to give a little heads up about little things being stressful a bit more at the time. And then if you have got this data written in your program and the numbers don't quite match up or whatnot based on the time of the program, what part we're at and things like that, it'll make more sense to us and we can gauge around that.
And this is why like I track those things in our program. We track stress, we track like recovery, we track your water intake, your sleep, because those are the main things that impact your training. Yep. And if I can see those markers over a 4 to 5 week period, I can then be able to adjust your program week to week based off those markers. You know, if someone's having a really stressful week at work and I see that their stress levels are high, or I see that their recovery levels are low, the first thing I'm going to do is slide in their DMs and be like, hey man, what's going on? Are you feeling all right? And they're like, oh man, I just had a huge week at work. And I'll be like, do you think you'll be okay next week? And then they'll be like, oh, you know, I've got another big week next week. I'll be like, all right, maybe we should deload, because the following week you don't have a stressful week at work or an overloaded work week. We can start bigger again and we can work along that. And another one that I'd like to put in there too is with females, obviously. You have a 4-week period of where 3 of those weeks normally are good, and there's 1 week where with your period that it's either before or when you have it, they can be low, right? You're low energy. So like that's a stressful thing for your body to go through as well. So if a girl can be open with their coach as well about like that, where in their cycle that they feel their lowest, we can adjust training or base a lower week around there to make your training more suitable for that part of your month.
Yeah.
I think that's super important, because I don't think a lot of people look into that either. I think a lot of girls just fucking power through their period, you know? Like a lot of girls don't pay any attention to it, and they're just so used to it in life. They're just like, I just got to do it. Doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah, but it definitely does play a big toll. And then some people might not realise that that's what it's stemming off, and they might just think it's external stress is otherwise, but that definitely plays a part. And some women's different, there's a couple of weeks there that play differently on different people. Yep. So it's important for them to just let us know at what time that normally affects them, or even to bring them awareness around that if there's not someone that has normally had that.
Yeah, because like I said before, that's just another form of stress on your body.
Yeah,
going through that, and your body doesn't recognize stress as the same thing. It's just like more stress on top of stress, and then eventually, I like to use the cup analogy, right? Sorry, bad words. I'm no good at words tonight at all. We were like just chopping that midway. We went to Audi. No. This is going to be funny. We went to Audi today, and I got super excited about making a slow cooker chicken. And instead of saying, I'll get a chicken to slow cook, I went slow cooked chicken. And I was like or something. I don't even know what it was.
It was not that easy. I don't even know. I just turned to you like, what did you just say?
I think I
said, just lost it in the shopping centre.
I think I said cook slow chicken. Something like that. I mixed up the words because
I'll try and tell you how I heard it somehow. It was... it was like...
She can't even say it.
Oh, it was like slow cook a slow chicken cook or something.
In my brain,
my
brain, it sounded like slow cooked chicken.
I was just span around and said, "What?"
We both just fell on the floor in fucking outie laughing.
Oh my god, that was good.
Anyway,
that was so funny.
Back to what I was saying before I talked about
of the
my
cup analogy.
Yeah, so with the cup analogy that I like to use, right? It's we have a glass, right? And every time your body goes through some form of stress, right? We might go to the gym and train, fills up a little bit. We go to work, we have a huge day, it fills up a little bit. We go out and we have a fight with our girlfriend, fills up a little bit. Then we go back to work, work's busy again, fills up. Go to train again, fills up. And eventually, if we don't deload or we don't take any attention to that glass, it's going to overflow. And when it overflows, it's so hard to come back from than when it's just above the rim and you knock it down a little bit. So
when the stress overflows.
When we get to that 3/4 full, maybe a little bit more, we need to find some way to get rid of that stress. Because if we don't, it's going to overflow. And like I said, it's going to be hard to come back to. But also, the thing is too, when you... Oh, I lost my train of thought there. When you do get rid of that stress off the top of the glass and you keep pushing up again, you can continue to adapt to the stimulus. So we need stress to overload to adapt, and that's the thing. Like if we don't stress the body, we won't adapt. But the thing is, like if you stress it so much to a point where it's overflowing so much, it's so far to come back so that we can keep stressing the body again to adapt. So that's where we bring in deloads, we minimize volume, or we might take out some exercises or something like that. So like if someone's getting close to the top of that glass, we pull out a couple of reps or sets or whatever, brings it down a little bit, we can keep pushing that stimulus back up to adapt again. And then something happens, so we pull out like an exercise or some reps, or we might deload and bring that glass back down again, boom, 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 stress it again, and then fucking overload and adapt. And that's how we create a human to get stronger.
Yep.
And training stress is like I said, the body doesn't see it any different to stress from your life. And the same thing counts for life. Another way I want to go into this actual topic and talk about it is how mental health plays a huge role on your training and stress in your life as well. Because I deal with a lot of people, as well as myself, that have been through a lot in their life, and a lot of people get stressed outside of work, and I see outside of like training, and I see them lose track of training because of external stress more than I do internal stress at all. It's never the fact that training's hard that people can't train. It's always the external stress that creates it harder for them to train. So being able to manage your mindset around like stress is something that's going to play a huge role in you being able to be a successful athlete. Because if you can't manage your external stresses or learn a way to become stronger to cope with your external stresses, the external stresses are going to overcome and make training way harder.
Yeah, absolutely. Something I like to always say is psychology over physiology always wins.
Yep.
And it's so true. If you go in with a shitty mindset, what happens? You have a shitty session.
Yep.
You go in thinking strong, thinking positive, thinking like, yep, I'm here to kill it, like, let's go. You're going to have a better session. Doesn't mean you're going to hit PBs all day and all that sort of stuff, but your approach to the session is going to be a lot better than being in the pits of where your mind is if you walk in within that negative mindset.
And if you do feel like shit at home, sometimes you just need to go to the gym and train. Like, there's numerous times I've not wanted to go train because of like external stresses or something's overcome me in my life, and I've just gone to the gym and just done my session, had one of the best sessions I've ever had. Some of the PRs I've hit in times in prep, I've not wanted to leave my house and go to the gym. And I've just gone and man, had some of the best training sessions ever. And that's not me just saying it. It's just like sometimes you allow that mentality in your mind to overcome you and just kind of consume you a little bit. And you sit in it so much because it's your mind that you just start believing your own shit that comes in your head. And I get it all the time. I always get it. And my mind does it all the time. But you got to learn to be able to separate yourself from your thoughts. Your thoughts, one of the books that I've read a while ago, it says like you have like 20 million fucking thoughts go through your brain every day. But the thing is, you need to be able to separate the ones that you should believe and the ones you shouldn't.
Yeah.
So if you are forever just having a negative mindset around some of the thoughts going in your mind, you need to kind of just override it like a computer. Just override it and just be like, hey, no, I'm not like that. I'm this, and this is what I'm going to do. And one of the most influential things that my coach ever said to me was, the days you doubt yourself, go look yourself in the mirror and tell you can do it. And like, it was probably one of the things that ever played a huge role in me as a mentality, because I don't need anybody to believe in me anymore because I believe in myself.
That's it.
And once you believe in yourself, you can fucking do anything.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, you're only left with yourself.
Yeah.
So if you can't be the one that creates these positive thoughts at the end of the night or picks yourself back up when you're feeling like shit, at the very end of the day, you're literally left with yourself. So you've got to be the one that pulls those things back up. You've got to make those yes, lots of people might influence you around you and like give you lots of props and things to keep picking you up and try and help. But at the end of the day, when you put your head on the pillow, you're by yourself and you're the one that mentally chooses if you're going to listen to those things. Yeah,
for sure. And, at the end of the day, like, nothing's easy. It's always going to be hard. Sometimes you're going to challenge yourself. But just knowing that you've got to be that person that steps out of your own shell and just listen to yourself talk. Yep. Sometimes I sit there in my thoughts, and I don't know if you've ever seen like movies where someone dies and their like soul leaves them and they stand outside and like look at themselves. That's what I mean. Like it sounds crazy, but I kind of third person look at myself, what I'm thinking and what is going on, so I can dissect it and create what's right and what's wrong, because I feel like the old me used to just think all these crazy thoughts and then to just get like, you create this delusional thing that doesn't even happen. Like, sometimes I would think about like, oh my God, the worst thing that's going to happen is this, boom, 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 boom. And then I'd wait 2 or 3 weeks to do something. My ADHD brain would go fucking nuts. And then I'd do what I needed to do. And I was like, that was so fucking easy. Why didn't I do that 3 weeks ago? Like,
yeah.
Because you just play these movie scenes in your own head that don't happen. If you can crush that from the start, you can just fucking have way more success and just achieve so much more in such a short period of time.
Personally, that doesn't happen for me as such. I'm more of the type I don't stress over a situation unless I have to. Yeah, true. So, which I know is not for everyone, of course. But recently I've heard some people around me say that they've started taking that angle when they normally have more of that version that you said. Yeah. I only overheard them say that, and I was super happy about that. And she said how, my sister actually. Yeah. And she said, I don't know if she even knows that I was listening to her at work. And she said that's what she started to do now, and she referenced me because that's what I do. But yeah, like, why stress about a situation when you're just overthinking it and you don't actually know how it's going to play out, do you know?
Yeah, and like, even if it does play out that way, you just deal with it then when it happens. Which, that's it. I'm telling you right now, 95% of the things that I've played in my head never play out. Yeah. It's always just made up. Yeah. It's just, you think the worst thing that could possibly happen before it happens. You just need to be able to think the thing that could happen. So, like, what I like to do is if I think there's something's negative, I put what positively could come out of that situation against it, and then I weigh up the odds. And it's always the positive thing that outweighs the negative thing.
You put the what if on it. Yeah. So you've got all this negative overthinking, this little spiral going on in your head, and then you've managed to turn it around after years of practice, I'm sure.
Yeah, fuck. It's
to say,
years.
but what if it doesn't?
But
because,
it's
like you said, each time it doesn't end up that way. So over time, your brain's being like, wait, it's never happens like that. So let's try and wait it out instead of create that stress.
And the easiest way to look at it was like, I had the worst prep this year with comp. So close to like thinking about pulling out. My brain's like, you don't need to do this comp. Abort. You're not going to get a total. And I'm like, you're not going to get more total. You're going to embarrass yourself. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And then the other side of me steps out of it and looks back at me and is like, so what if you don't get a bigger total? At least you turned up and your whole team sees that you achieved something, that you didn't back out. And then 35 other athletes you have know that they can't pull out when things gets hard. So weigh up the odds. What's going to be better? Me doing this comp and not getting a bigger total and a few people looking at me and being like, oh, he's not even that strong anymore. Or my whole team looking at me with respect.
Yep.
Fucking oath, my whole team looking at me with respect and knowing that you just got to push through the hard shit sometimes.
Absolutely. Lead by example, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I mean by just looking at things and trying to figure out those stressful situations and make them into something positive so that you can reassure yourself to be in a better situation to create less stress in your life.
Absolutely. Another thing about the stress when it gets overloading, like if people don't speak about it or find ways to deload those stress a little bit, it leads to a burnout.
Yes. I very well know that.
Yeah, and that's why it's so hard to come back from once you get to that point, because that often leads to, well, firstly, and it sounds a little bit extra, but people can literally just pass out at work. And they're like, oh, I don't know what that was. Didn't have enough water or something. But it often stems off a burnout when you just too much like go. Nothing's coming off it. Like it's just topping up and just spilling over, overflow. And then once you hit that point, because it never got a break in there or anything deloaded in life or gym or anything, that's quite a stressful time to be in. And then it makes you second guess everything. Because you're in such that high peaking state for quite a while, it's normally a few weeks to build up to that level. And then you start to think, oh, do I hate my training? I hate my job, my freaking relationship. Yeah. You start questioning everything. It turns into quite a big spiral, and that's why it is so hard to come back from, because it just starts getting emotional and really taxing on just absolutely everything. And then some people are more reactive than others as well. So based on that emotional breakdown and all that stress and fatigue and everything stemming from just everything being too much, they can be very reactive to that temporary feeling and like break up with someone, move out of something, do all these little quite erratic things.
Training away.
Quite erratic things just on that temporary emotion just because they got to that peak. But if a little bit was to come out, or even a couple of weeks after that burnout, everything just sort of feels a bit better, and then you're like, shit, that was a lot like
and then
regret maybe,
one
or
of the
you learn something from it, that's for sure.
A lot of the things I see is like when people, the first thing that disappears when life gets stressful is like training.
Yeah.
So being able to like manage people to get back in the gym with that is what my job is. But the thing is too, like if you spoke up about it and maybe like allowed us to help you and guide you in the right way, we're not like psychs, but we can give you advice on what you could do to manage stress a little bit better, how to make yourself feel a bit better. But just like simple things like just doing things other than training and working and going out on the weekend and, you know, fuck, if you like putt-putt golf, go play putt-putt golf. If you like if you like having a drink or two once a month or something, go out and have a drink. Like, you know, do the things that minimize the stress in your life, you know, because training is, you know, something, if you're not in prep, you know, like I'm not saying go party all the time, but if you enjoy having a drink with your friends and whatever, go have a drink and eat some food, or go play golf, or go, you know, jump in the beach or whatever. Go do the things you love to do, because honestly, like the best thing for recovery is active recovery. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
The things you love in life.
Yep, that's still filling the cup in a different way.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You need to fill that cup in more of the things you enjoy, which, of course, you can say, yeah, I enjoy gym, but those other things that are a little bit different need to be done as well, that's for sure. And just flick the switch a little bit, take a chill pill.
Well, it's like us. We go have a date night once a fortnight, you know, on midweek, and go and do something we enjoy, like just so that we can spend some time together and kind of just switch off from the world. And that's like our little couple of hours together. Because we literally live and breathe powerlifting, as well as like Dee runs her own business as a barber. So she has 2 kids as well, and life can get pretty hectic for Dee.
Yes.
To be honest with you.
Speaking of those high stress full cups, mine's always pretty full. But those date nights do help a lot.
But you manage stress very well. That's all I can say.
I'm just a girl of many masks, or hats, I should say.
I think that I do manage stress well now, but you wouldn't know if I was stressed. You know after, because I tell you once I fix the problem. I'm a fixer, and then when it's fixed, I'm like, blah.
I'm not home to see it, so by the time I get home, it's probably fixed.
Yeah.
Or forgotten or something.
I barely get stressed these days. Not much like to get stressed about. But yeah, I think that is a great way to finish up. Just look after yourself and make sure you do things you enjoy and love, and don't stress, because life's fucking peace, man.
Talk to your coach, have fun, fill your cup, deflate your cup.
Yep, deflate your cup.
Yep, deflate your cup, empty your cup, whatever.
Get jacked.
Awesome.
But yeah, if anyone's interested in coaching, just click the link in our bio. It's a form for Google. Fill that out, and I'll be in contact with you within 12 hours of you filling that out. Both myself and Dee have spots available for coaching, as well as Zoe has spots available for nutrition. So once you fill that form out, I'll give you a call on your mobile. We'll book a video consult, and then we can just go through everything that we do and show you what we do at River City Barbell. It's all free. The phone call, you do not have to sign up to anything, but we'll just run you through everything and talk to you about what our service is, show you our prices, everything like that, and then we can get you on board and get you jacked and strong.
Awesome.
Talk to you soon, guys. Thanks.
Good chat.
Good chat. Thank you for listening in to the River City Unlimited podcast. To hear future episodes, please subscribe to our podcast. And we would really appreciate it if you shared the podcast on your social media story and tagged River City Barbell. If you could also head over and give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast and Spotify, that would be really appreciated. For all coaching inquiries, please go to the link in our show notes or head over to our social media at rivercitybarbell.aus on Instagram or River City Barbell on Facebook. Thanks for tuning into the episodes, and I hope you enjoy future episodes.